want to cover this one?
Yeah, I got this.
Sabina
Yeah,
Mazo.
next we got Alexis Davis versus Sabina Mazo.
Hmm.
Alexis Davis is obviously a savvy UFC vet. She's and Strikeforce, Invicta. She's literally been all over the place. Um, she has wins. She has wins over Amanda Nunes, Julie Kedzie, Tanya Evinger, Shayna Baszler, Liz Carmouche, Jessica I, Sarah Kaufman, and Liz. Yeah, she's beaten Liz Carmouche twice actually. So
He's got 11 UFC fights.
Alexis Davis has beaten the GOAT, Amanda Nunes, before. Not saying she'll beat her now. Alexis Davis, on the other hand, is also on a 3-fight losing skid where she's lost her last 3 fights to Caitlin Chukagian, Jennifer Maia, and Viviana Rujo.
Good competition.
Good competition, but she's 36 years old. Fighting out of Cesar Gracie Jiu Jitsu, I believe.
I like that.
Yeah,
You want to know her belt? She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and yeah, she's a BJJ black belt.
Yeah. And now you're looking at Sabina Mazo, the Colombian queen they call her, with a 9-1 MMA record. She has I believe she has a Muay Thai kickboxing background. Yeah, she definitely does. She is 3-1 in her UFC career so far. With wins over Shanna Dobson, JJ Ulrich, and Justine Kish. JJ Ulrich has some great stand up herself, and I'm pretty sure Mazo just stood up with her. And
Mazo outstruck her 118 to 58.
yeah, um, yeah, Mazo is Mazo, Sabina Mazo. I think I was saying Mizo, but like the soup. But besides her UFC debut where she lost, it could have been jitters. I'm not trying to deflect blame or nothing, but she's looked really good in her last couple fights, and she's only 23 years old. So a pattern of what the UFC's been doing recently is they're feeding these UFC vets to these young up and coming people who they really like. Examples. They fed Junior Dos Santos to Cyril Gane. You know, they fed. They attempted to feed Anthony Pettis to that other dude. I forget his name.
And Anthony Pettis ate him up.
Yeah, and Anthony Pettis got the win in that one. But I think they did it to Overeem. They've done it. They're doing it to Overeem every fight. They're just getting young killers, and like he wins, he loses some. But I think this is another case of that. The UFC is definitely trying to build up Sabina Mazo to be a higher level UFC flyweight in the future. The odds, let's look at the odds real quick. Yeah, the odds are reflecting that. The odds have a minus 235 favorite on Mazo, and I 100% agree. They're taking somebody on the tail end of their career who has a name to her, who has a win over the GOAT in Amanda Nunes, and they're going to put her against a 23-year-old killer that's just going to, punch and kick the shit out of her. She's shown to be well-rounded. She has submission victories too. So I'm going to take Sabina Mazo in this fight. Not sure if it goes to distance or not. A finish over Alexis Davis would be very impressive. I'd be very impressed if she does that, but at least a unanimous decision. And then I think it might be time for Alexis Davis to hang up the gloves.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally agree with you, Dan. I'm going
Eddie Wineland, also another guy who they just feeding.
I'm gonna totally agree with you, Dan. The Colombian Queen, Alexis Davis is 1-3 at 125. This is a flyweight fight.
I mean, she's naturally a flyweight. It's just like they didn't have flyweight. They haven't had flyweight in the division for that long.
Yeah, but 1-3, it's not looking too well. Younger, 23 years old, like you said, inch taller, 2-inch reach, 2.5-inch leg reach.
Yeah.
Significant strikes wise, Mazo lands 7, absorbs 4 at 46% accuracy and 62% defense. Like elite on the
In the
feet.
UFC or in her whole career?
This is 4 fights in the UFC.
Okay.
They don't keep the other stats for that shit. It's so.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say,
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is all UFC stats. All the stuff I ever say on this podcast is all UFC stats.
Okay.
She also has 100% takedown defense, 100% takedown accuracy, 83% takedown defense. She's a threat. She's 23 years old. 4 fights in the UFC right now. She's not ranked, but after this week, after this win, which I'm predicting, she's definitely gonna be ranked at least in the top 15. We got Alexis Davis sitting at number 12, so at least breaking into 12 at least, right?
Yeah, break her into 12. Maybe set up a fight with I don't know, maybe like a Macy Barber type person.
Let me say one more thing too. I like what you said.
I would like a her versus Alexa Grasso could be a technical fucking masterpiece of a fight.
Right. I like something that you said.
That's the future of the division.
You said that you don't think that as good as Sabina Mazo is, that she doesn't. You don't think that she can stop Alexa Davis, and I totally agree.
Alexis Davis is a super savvy vet. It's going to be very hard for her to finish.
Yeah, in 29 professional fights, she's only been KO'd 3 times and lost by sub once. The rest are all decision losses. So I think it's safe to say that this is going to go to decision.
But if Mazo knocks her out,
right,
that's incredibly impressive.
Right. Yeah, because she's
both predicting a win. If she could knock her out, I might have very high. I could have
I would not bet on that though.
I wouldn't bet on it, but I would be very. I'm saying I'd be very impressed if she were.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
She could be a real threat in the women's flyweight division in the future.
I think she'll break 15 for sure.
Yeah, and I think she should fight Macy Barber next.
I like that matchup.
If she gets the win. I think she beats Macy Barber. I'm sorry.
Shelby.
Macy Barber. The UFC probably won't do that because they're trying to save face on Macy Barber because
Macy Barber, burning. She's a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, she's shown to be a little overhyped. Yo, that fight against Grasso where she was throwing like these combos from 10 feet away, I'm like, what are you doing?
And her reach too is like fucking like 45 inches, you know? It's like something crazy small.
Did you rewatch that first round? Can you agree that Alexa Grasso obviously won that fight?
Sucks.
What?
She sucks. Macy Barber sucks. She got her ass
kicked.
She's
got power though.
She's got power, but when someone's got that big of a reach on her, even any reach
on her. Grasso didn't have that much of a reach on her.
No?
I'll look it up right now.
Look it up right now. Well, one last thing before we get into Randy Brown versus
Macy Barber has a 65-inch reach.
68 maybe she's got?
Grasso's got a 66.
Wow, that close?
Yeah, Grasso just actually knows how to fight using distance correctly.
Yeah.
What happened was Macy Barber went in there and fought somebody who knows how to fight standing up technically, and she couldn't keep up.
We can't go down this Alexa Grasso. This podcast will be 10 hours long. We got to move on.
Yeah, I could talk about Alexa Grasso for hours.
All right. Next one, Randy.
Maybe let's go Mazo because I love technical striking.
Yeah.
And the women's MMA, we're seeing a lot more technical striking. Rose Namajunas.
Mm-hmm.
I love Rose.
Yeah, me too. She's the best.
I think she beats Weili Zhang.
I think so too.
But she doesn't want a title fight for some reason.
No, she doesn't want the pressure.
Yeah.
She's still young. She's got her fucking entire career. But she's one of those people that would retire like very early in their career. I'm getting the feeling.
I could see it.
Like she's not in love with the sport, I don't think anymore.
I mean, I think she can definitely reinvigorate her love of the sport.
Right. And people, all the time.
Married to Pat Barry, who is super likable. Like he's one of the coolest UFC fighters ever, in my opinion.
Remember when he fought Stefan Struve?
Yeah. That was so.
Pat Barry's 5'9" guy, and he's like, it was really awesome to see that.
Pat Barry versus Chet Congo. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
he knocked it. It was the greatest comeback I've ever seen.
Really?
Go watch that after. I can't believe you haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Pat Barry knocked down Czech Congo, and Czech Congo looked out cold on like 3 separate occasions, and then came up with like a right hook slash uppercut and just knocked out Pat Barry. But Pat Barry looked like he had it. Pat Barry, hell of a stand-up fighter.
Yeah. Heavy.
Yeah, and then under Trevor Whitman, Rose is just. I think Rose is Rose is better than Pat Barry.
Yeah, no, for sure. She already surpassed him. Are you kidding? Like career-wise? Get out of here.
Not even close.
Not even close. Not even close. They're not on the same level. All right, you want to move on, Dan?
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
All right. We both went Mazo.